Yo, what's going on, my Veve OGs, my Omi homies, and everybody else on YouTube? It's your bromy, the Gale, back at it again with some Master Collector Program details. Let's get into it. Citizens of Veve, rejoice, for our time has nearly come. If you guys missed the latest Twitter Spaces AMA from Ecomi and Veve, oh my goodness, you missed a good one. But we finally got more intricate details on the Master Collector Program, and let me tell you, it is a doozy. The Master Collector Program, if you guys haven't heard of it, you need to watch this video. This is the reason why us Veve OGs have been grinding, collecting on the app, spending thousands of dollars, hundreds to thousands of dollars. This Master Collector Program is going to change the game for NFTs across the whole space, and Veve will go down in history. People are going to flock to Veve because of this Master Collector Program, let me tell you. And in this video, you're going to get all the information straight from the Donnie's mouth, straight from the horse's mouth. So yeah, without further ado, let's just breeze into it.
A few people have been waiting on a little bit of information for the Master Collector Program. Do we have some time to run through this and explain some of the finer details?
We do, and I'm delighted to announce the Master Collector coming out in 2023. ... Go. Oh wait, we just lost a whole lot of users. The scoping is coming together very well. So I thought today would just be a good opportunity for us to sort of run through in a little bit more detail about how it's going to work. And then we've got Alex and the rest of the marketing team just putting some final touches into the document so we can start to share that with everyone. But
yeah, so for everybody who's wondering why that is not out yet, you can blame me. I blew that thing out. I'll take all your fun.
Yes.
Aim it towards me.
Yeah. Thanks, Alex. You can take that one. That'll be great.
All right. Fantastic. Right. Let's do it.
So now, as I think I've touched on this a little bit in the previous AMAs, but really, the Master Collector Program is designed and is there as a retention and reward system for our collectors. So, and it's kind of geared in a way that the more of a collector you are, the more you'll be able to benefit. And that's not to say that, if you're a low-level Master Collector, you'll be discounted in any way. But the Master Collector Program is about, supporting those people who really are the true collectors out there. So there's a couple of ways that it works, and I think I touched on this last time, but I'll just cover it again. So there's going to be really two main parts to the Master Collector Program. Number one is your Master Collector level, and number two is your Master Collector rank. With the leveling, you will basically score points or earn points for a whole range of activities within Veve. And that includes two different categories, where category number one will be the one-off points that you'll earn, and category number two is recurring daily points that you'll earn. So to give you an example, a one-off point example would be a new user comes in and they fully complete the onboarding process. They go through all the tutorials, which are coming soon, and they get through all of that. Boom, they're gonna receive some one-off points. If you purchase a collectible in the store or the market, you're going to get a one-off point for that. If you complete a set, you'll get some points for that in a one-off capacity. So the idea here is to encourage users to use these kind of core features in the app, and for that you will get rewarded with a one-off points. The second part is the daily recurring. Now, for us, it's if you're a collector, and again, we're focusing very much on the collectors here, not necessarily the flippers. Sorry, guys. But you will basically receive daily recurring points based on a whole number of factors, which will be things like every collectible you own, you will receive points. Every completed set you hold, you will receive points. Every secret rare you hold, you will receive points. And the whole idea here is that each day you will basically start accruing these points, and then these points will go towards your master collector level. So very similar in gaming, you basically earn these points, and once you earn enough points to reach the next level, you will basically be leveled up. Now, the second part, one more thing to touch on is that your daily recurring points will be based on activity. So if you decide that, whatever, Veve is not for you, and then after say 30 days or 60 days, there's no activity on your account, as in you're not logging in, you will stop receiving those those daily points. And the reason for that is to make sure that we are rewarding those users who are still a very active part of the community, rather than those users who may have, fallen by the wayside. Mm-hmm. The second last point on the recurring points is that we will be doing everything we can to apply points retrospectively when we roll out the Master Collector program. So if you're an OG and you've been collecting, since in January, then you effectively we will calculate on our side, what you would have received daily from then all the way up till now, plus any of the one-off points. So that will immediately advance you to a specific level, and you'll have a whole bunch of these points, which you can do things with, which I'll get to in a moment. Now, the second part of the Master Collector is the rank. And the whole idea with the rank here is that I believe we have 20 different ranks, from your very entry level right up to the very top rank, which is going to be called Master Collector, or I don't know, Grand Master, something like that. And you will basically sit somewhere in this ranking system based on your points, your activity, and a bunch of other factors. And the reason we put this in is to ensure that there is, always the opportunity for users to kind of move up or potentially down those ranks outside of your leveling system. Because if we just have the leveling system, people could effectively just infinitely level, and it would be very difficult for other users to sort of catch up or obtain those higher levels. So for that reason, we really thought the ranking system, works very well. So, I mean, you might end up being a low rank, but perhaps you could have a very high level, depending on your activity and what you've purchased, or you could have a higher rank and a lesser level. So we'll be releasing some more information about that in the article. Now, as you continue to earn these level points, you will be able to do things with them. So you can effectively spend these points. They're not like gems or any form of currency, but you can use them within the app to do things such as we will have accessories that are available to be purchased with points. We will have one of the features we'll be rolling out in the market is premium market listing. So, if you're a very active user in the market and you want to, use your points to have your listing show, higher up the list or to get more exposure, again, you'll be able to spend your points on that. We will also be introducing a drop lottery system where you as a user who has earned points can choose to wager those points in the drop lottery. And the way this will work is there will be a percentage of the editions available for the drop lottery. And then any user, a certain period of time before the drop, like let's just say it's going to be 24 hours, you will be able to start wagering to try to guarantee to get that collectible. So the way it'll work is that you'll open up the, whatever it is, the drop lottery system. You'll choose an upcoming drop. You'll choose the collectible that you want to wager against, and then you can then wager your points to try to get a guaranteed slot. And whether you win or lose that will be based on how much you wager against relative to the other participants.
Right.
And then 15 minutes or 30 minutes before the drop, the drop lottery will close, and users at that point will then get a notification in-app to say that you were successful. And if you were, then you can basically just go ahead and buy that collectible, or that collectible will be reserved for you at the time of the drop. So you just need to go in and buy it. If you choose not to buy it for whatever reason, then that collectible will simply just go back into the public pool. So again, the idea around the drop lottery here is to encourage and incentivize users to participate in the app so they can get these points, and then through that they can have an advantage in the drop by wagering these points. And like I say, it's only going to be a percentage of the collectibles available, so it doesn't mean that no one else has any chance. Again, it's making sure that there is a system or an incentive reward-based system for those collectors who are really participating very strongly.
Awesome. Just on that, you mentioned that if you decide not to purchase that collectible, it would return to the public pool of collectibles. Would that user then lose the points that they wagered to secure the collectible, or?
Yes, you would. I mean, if you win, then those points are basically burned. And if you decide not to take it, then I mean, unfortunately, that's a decision you'll have to make. Yeah.
Yeah, but for sure. Okay, perfect. I know someone would ask that. Carry on, good sir.
We will also be introducing badges for certain achievements. So whenever you say, for example, complete your first set, or you complete your 10th set, you will get a really cool little badge that you can show on your profile. And then some of the achievement badges will also come in 3D. So, you can basically decorate your showrooms. Again, it's just another fleck. I walk into Reese's showroom and he's just got a wall of badges. I'm going to be, wow, this guy's serious. And, I'm not going to get a good deal out of this guy. So
that's it.
And also, whenever you achieve a new badge, or if you get a badge levels up, you will also score points for that as well. So the whole idea is, really to just encourage users to have these points, to earn these points in the system, and then they can, because of their participation in the app, they can then use those points to, whether it's just to gain cool looking accessories or whatever for your showroom, or whether you want to use them to participate in the drops. And we will have other features rolling out in the future that you'll be able to, use points on. So say, for example, like in the Veve, maybe you can buy more than likely non-branded accessories for your avatars. You'll be able to buy them with points as well. So it's just really a reward system. So, you're coming into our app, giving us your eyeballs, and we want to, return that favor by allowing you to earn and spend these points effectively.
Yeah. I think quite a majority of people would understand a similar system, from other gaming apps or badges and things, right? It should be relatively familiar. It's just as you say.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, ultimately, it really is just like a gamification leveling type system. And I've obviously been working with everyone in the team, from Trevor to Noah, Alex, just to get some good input on these kind of gaming mechanics. So, and then lastly, we will be bringing out one more part of the MCP, which is called MCP Pro, and this will be a small amount of this will offer, you'll pay a limited monthly subscription of a very small amount, and that will give you extra advantages. So say, for example, if you want to become an MCP Pro user, you might get extra percent points on all activity, or you might get an exclusive content each month. We're looking into additional features like expanded functionality in the marketplace, like auto bidding or renting collectibles, or perhaps displaying the the rarity and edition number next to the collectibles that you own. So I think we've got everything, we've got a nice, well-rounded system that, even if you come in at the beginning, you still have some advantage. If you are a power user, then this is going to give you the, sort of the advantage that you want, as well as some extra features like the MCP Pro, which, could potentially help early users coming in who really want to sort of boost their way up the levels. So very excited to get this article out. It's not a huge departure from what we started scoping out around a year ago, but as I mentioned on one of the other AMAs, we do have a lot of very valuable user feedback, and obviously we've polled some key people in the community to make sure that we're sort of aligned with what our community wants. So once we put this article out, we'll of course, as always, be looking forward to feedback and ideas. And
Fantastic. And just to give people a general timeline, because obviously the article coming out does not mean that the whole program goes live on Veve. Do we have a rough sort of ETA for when people can expect the first rollout of the MCP in the app?
Yeah, well, didn't I say 2023?
Oh, yeah. Okay, good. Set expectations.
So, as soon as the articles come out, we will be commencing development. I'm not going to commit to any timelines just yet, but obviously we know that everyone wants the MCP as fast as they can. And in the article, we have actually broken down a bit of a roadmap for exactly how we're going to roll out the master collector. There's obviously some functionality that we already have kind of built in place that is the low-hanging fruit. And then we'll basically roll the master collector out in various phases over the coming months. All
right, fantastic. That is sure to get some people talking. But that is only one of two articles that people are waiting for at the moment. So I may as well strike while the iron's hot. Any updates on the OMI utility article?
Yes, so that will also be released at the same time. And I can't actually remember if I touched on this too much last time, but so just to give everyone a quick overview, the utility will basically cover the following areas. So we will have a staking program, and you will, in order to basically unlock the OMI related features in the app, you will need to be in the staking program. And we have 3 tiers of staking, with each tier offering everything in the tier before it, plus a whole lot of other extra benefits. And some of those benefits are in line with the master collector as well. So for example, if you're staking at tier 2, you will also get extra percentage points on all of your activity. In addition to that, as we've discussed previously, there will be secondary market trading with OMI. So you will be able to list your items in OMI, and then as long as you have OMI in your Veve OMI wallet, you will then be able to buy and sell directly with OMI, which I know is something that the community is very much looking forward to. In addition to the Master Collector Drop Lottery, we will also have an OMI Drop Lottery. So these are going to run side by side. So, if you're, and I'm sure all of these theories are going to come out, but you could almost double your chances by being an OMI staker and being able to participate in the OMI Drop Lottery, and then also use your points on the in the Master Collector Drop Lottery as well. And in addition to that, the other points that I mentioned in the Master Collector program, such as premium market listings, accessory purchases, you'll be able to do all of these things with OMI as well, directly within the product. And of course, as I touched on briefly a few AMAs ago, will be the Veveverse. So the primary use for OMI in the Veveverse, as touched on, is number one, land. So obviously we're going to be rolling out land around these, beautiful Veve cities and such. And assuming you are buying the land off the primary market, i.e. off Veve, then you will be able to use your OMI to buy that. And then that OMI will basically just be burnt straight out of circulation. In addition to that, within the Veveverse, each person will have a home. And that home is basically like your showroom now, but kind of on steroids. And you will also be able to buy these homes with OMI, and that includes all of the accessories inside, whether it's, you know, updating the wallpaper or changing the floor or adding another level. And then lastly, with the Veveverse, well, lastly for now, will be the avatars. So same deal, you'll be able to use OMI to purchase, you know, whether you want an epic avatar or, hey, mate, like we all do, we all want a t-shirt on our avatar just with David's hair on it. I'm sure that's going to go for it. Yeah, exactly. And so there'll be some of this exclusive content for OMI holders as well. So the idea here is really to, you know, align these two programs because they are both they both have a lot of similarities and crossovers. But we obviously want to make sure that you know, we are rewarding our OMI holder community, and we're rewarding our collector-based community. And obviously, there's going to be people out there who are both of those things as well. And these two systems allow those people to take advantage of both of those. So, absolutely. Yeah, that's just a basic overview. I won't go into too much more detail because you guys will be able to read into it a little bit further as when we promote the articles out there. And then, yeah, of course, looking forward to the feedback.
Yeah,
nice. That is a lot, and it is awesome to hear. I think a lot of people are hopefully really excited. So there's a lot of us in the crowd here. I'm not sure if you realize, but we broke 2,000 in this space. So thank you all very much for joining. And, you know,
if anyone is new to our community, the easiest places to find information outside of Twitter are the Ecomi and Veve blogs, which you can find at medium.com/Ecomi and medium.com/Veve-collectibles. So that's where all of our drop information goes, all of our new license partners, any app updates and pertinent information. So if you're not subscribed to those blogs, I would suggest heading over there. But yeah. Hey, while we're here, can we confirm that follow for follow posts in the feed do not count towards your master collector? Is that a thing?
Sorry, say that again.
The follow for follow posts that we see in the feed, I think for a while people have been posting those assuming they would get MCP points.
Yes, no, I don't know where that came from. It seemed to erupt out of nowhere. But the Fs for F don't impact your master collector in any way.
Great. Hopefully that cools the jets on that a little bit. Now,
so Smells Fun asks, will comics count towards sets? Will MCP reward long-term holds?
Yes to the second point. As I mentioned, if you are holding a set or holding a collectible, then you will get daily points for that. And comics, we don't have sets for comics, just for the reason being that, I mean, in some cases, it can be almost impossible to obtain a secret rare. So we felt it was a bit unfair to include sets with the comics. But effectively, anything that you can purchase within the Veve primary market is what we determine a collectible, and that will contribute to your master collector level.
Great. So comics included, I think, was another question. So that's good to know.
Yeah.
And then further there, Greyhound Groot asks, if I own 3 Superman, does that count as 3 sets or 1? And for example, is there any cap per item for counting MCP sets, and will different rarities generate different MCP points per day?
On the second point, yes, it will, but it is reserved for secret rares. So if you have an uncommon, sorry, that's not going to give you any extra points, but you, of course, will still get points for owning that collectible. And if you have a secret rare, then you will get some bonus points for owning that. Sorry, Alex, what was the first part?
If I own 3 Supermen, does that count as 3 sets?
Yes, I believe it does. I will need to double check with the team on that one, but to me, it would make sense that if you have multiple sets of something, then you should be rewarded for that.
With regards to some of the sets, if we haven't collected them. Personally, I think that there's certain collectibles that are basically commons or excuse me, secret rares that mask as commons, like the Todd. Will there be specific points allotted to certain things based on, I guess, their popularity or kind of rarity level or significance in comparison just like standard points? That's my first question.
We did consider that internally, that maybe certain collectibles have different various points, but really it's not overly sustainable over a long period of time, and it gets very complicated. Like, I mean, we've got so many collectibles out already, even just in this first year, and I'm sure there's going to be equal, if not greater amounts over 2022. So that's why we actually decided internally just to keep the system very simple. And basically you get points for owning collectibles, points for owning sets, with the caveat that secret rares will give you some extra bonus.
Okay, thank you so much for that. So my second question is with regards to Master Collector as well, and just engagement with the community. Again, shout out to Vaultaholics and everyone else that also creates vaults. Is it possible, or is it already being considered, that a part of that engagement would be the amount of people who has entered your vault? Because I think just to kind of give a pat on the back to the amount of people who put in so much time, it would really be a great metric to be able to add on to that form of engagement, considering how much people put in, and there's no real way to track how many people have seen your stuff if you haven't put it on Twitter.
Yes, absolutely. And one of the updates we have coming to showrooms is that when you are in your collection and you look at your showroom, you will be able to see how many likes you've had, how many views, or how many people have entered the showroom, and also how many comments. And that will go in some ways towards your Master Collector. But one of the things that we do need to be a bit careful of with activity like that is that, somebody could set up an auto clicker or whatever and then just, visit their showroom through another account 5,000 times a day. So while there will be some rewards, they will be capped.
But when it comes to the wagers and the lottery systems, so there will be something in place to keep whales from, I guess, getting everything then, correct?
Yeah, there will be. The drop lottery system will basically be using only the points that you've got. So you can anticipate that if you are an OG and you've been around for a while, when the MCP rolls out, you will end up with a bunch of points that you can spend. However, obviously we do a lot of drops. And then the second way that we'll combat that is it is only going to be a percentage of the drops as well. So, just to reiterate what I said earlier on, it very much is around rewarding, those users who heavily participate in the app. But obviously, we have built-in measures and balances to make sure that that doesn't exclude other people completely.
Yeah. And I might just add to that obviously the OMI token side of the drop lottery is burning tokens directly from circulation when people commit that to the lottery or to the bid. So obviously those any of those transactions are going to benefit token holders long term, as well as we're really reducing that supply. We'll continue down this list. Gentlemen, people are obviously waiting for the gem to fiat cash out and MTL. Now, I think last time we said we were up to integrating with our banking partner. Is that still the case?
Yes, and I just had a notification come through yesterday that all of the, the two-way sync between us and the bank is all basically done and dusted. So very happy to have that phase over. So next week, we'll just go into do some final testing on the platform. And then after that, we will be looking to begin inviting you in, which will be very, very exciting. I think, one of the great things about this feature is, and, one of my hopes is that one day people can actually, make money off Veve. You can quit that job that you don't like, and this is not financial or advice information, by the way.
I was going to say.
thought I'd throw that out. just to cover my butt. But you know, it's great. You know, and people love to collect, love to buy and sell, and you know, if you can actually earn something off that, you know, if you're lucky enough, and I'm definitely not pointing at myself or anyone in the team for getting a secret rare in the comics. You know, that can change, you know, change people's circumstances. So very much looking forward to getting that out. And before we, well, actually, over the next couple of weeks, we will be putting out an article which is just going to explain exactly how the GMP out works. As I've discussed previously, you know, obviously because we are dealing with banking institutions and finances and money, each users will have to KYC as they're going in. And once they've successfully passed KYC, then they will have the opportunity to withdraw. So all of these details we'll be putting out in an upcoming article.
For sure. And just to set a realistic expectation on that, I think we should just reiterate that it won't open to the entire user base day one. It will start with these kind of smaller batch invites, and as those tests take place, we can continue to scale that up.
Yeah, and I think you were saying earlier, Reece, that you're accepting bribes, right? For the,
Absolutely. I always accept bribes. Contact me anytime. No, not today. I don't have access to that system. Please don't spam me with your bribes. Cool. So that's exciting. Hopefully, yep, we put something out next week as well. It's going to be a big month, lads. Just keep going.
Isn't every month?
Isn't every month, exactly. Okay. Showroom version 2. I know Trevor was in here before. I don't know if he has comment, but Dan, any updates?
Yes, so that's coming along very well. The actual Showroom V2 has been, I'd say 99% signed off. I think people were just making one or two small lighting adjustments yesterday. And I think I might have mentioned earlier, but if I didn't, we have, I mean, most of you now have probably seen the layout of the new Showroom V2, where there's this beautiful balcony looking out over the clouds. And we have opened up a small part of that balcony that will allow you to walk out into the greatest kind of sky area. Because, you know, to be honest, the Voltaholics just do some amazing stuff, and we don't want to limit that in any way. And the second part is which I think I've touched on, is the empty showroom or the empty space. Now, I think a lot of users are really going to find this, you know, especially the Voltaholics. These amazingly creative people who, you know, just build these epic constructs out of the Veve collectibles. You will now no longer have to. Yeah, you won't have to work with inside that gallery showroom. You'll basically be given an empty.
Did we just lose Dan?
Oh, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Okay. Yes, the empty space where you can basically have a blank canvas, and then from within there you can create whatever beautiful constructs you want, whether it's you know, a multi-room thing made out of James Bond posters, or whether that might be a digital diorama. Perhaps you want to have all of your DC heroes versus your Marvel heroes. And of course, you know, when we can add accessories in as well, you know, I'm very excited to see what people are going to come up with. I think there's just going to be some amazing 3D dioramas coming out of this new type of empty showroom. And of course, as we also had mentioned previously, if you do have an existing Showroom V1, you will, by all means, that will remain in your app. And any new showrooms that you create will be using the new version 2. It should be noted that if you do have a version 1 showroom, or if you have multiple version 1 showrooms and you do delete all of those showrooms, then that version 1 showroom will be gone. And whenever you create new ones, it'll only be version 2. And then lastly, there's just a few other features that we've added in there, such as, you know, undo, redo. You know, we know that sometimes you move stuff around and you're like, oh, damn, it actually looked way better the way it was. So we built in all of that sort of undo, redo stuff. And in terms of timing, we're very close on this. We just need to get these updates coming from Trevor, get it into a build. We'll be doing some testing next week. And then I'm dare I say it, I'm 99% certain it'll be coming out the week after.
Okay. Yep, it's your own funeral, mate.
Yeah. Put a
That's
nail in
great.
my coffin, yeah.
That's it. That's it. With the gap in the banister, is it an obvious gap or is it a secret hidden gap?
It's a secret hidden gap.
Okay,
We've got to have some hidden stuff in there, you know, just so
that's
people
it.
can go and find
Yeah.
a little hide and seek kind of
Walk
thing.
into walls. How else do we
Yeah.
find holes in the corners?
Exactly. Well, that's how the last ones were found.
Yeah, exactly. All right, cool. Well, seeing as you've committed to that for next week, how's the web platform going? Because we haven't had an update on that for a while.
Yeah, web platform is also coming along well. Gee, boy, we've got a lot of irons on the fire, don't we? Now that I'm looking through them all, there's definitely stuff going on.
Yeah.
So yeah, web platform is great. We've basically finished up the majority of all of the actual pages and screens. We're now at the point where we're doing things like integrating, all of your OMI wallets, integrating all of the payment systems. And I think we're also working on the integration of the web showroom, which again, I'm also very excited about this too, because to be honest, massive credit and shout out to the Voltaholics who create what they do on mobile. It will obviously be significantly easier to use your showroom when it's on a desktop, because you'll be able to drag your items around with the mouse and just have better navigation kind of skills. So yeah, overall, pretty happy. We're definitely still on track of having the web platform out this year. Early as possible, of course, but we need to make sure that we've got everything in place before we roll that out.
Yeah, and just on that, is the first iteration of the web platform, it's basically a mirror of the app, or will it have some standalone features as well?
It will effectively be a mirror of the app. I mean, really, there's the Veve app, and there will now be two front ends essentially to that, which will be the mobile view, and in addition the web platform, and then later on we'll obviously have the Veveverse. So there'll be a plethora of ways to experience Veve.
Fantastic. Yeah, I think as we've all kind of expected, that will open up access to an even wider user base, which is great. People would love to know the status of the immutable migration and interoperability and how we are looking there.
Yep, absolutely. So let me give you an update on that. So we were through the first phase, which was the registering all of the user accounts, and the second phase, as we published in the article that Reese put out, was minting the NFTs. We did hit a couple of roadblocks on that, which was it actually turned out in the end that that all of the reminting was going to take 5 to 6 days, at which point would have mean we would have had to take the market offline for that amount of time. So that was not something that was really acceptable. So our team had been working with the immutable guys to work on optimizations on that, and they are almost at a finish. In fact, I would imagine by the end of this week, they will all be done. And they've done a great job basically getting that down from 5 or 6 days to 3 hours. So when that reminting happens, obviously as per normal, we'll put some information out there just to let you know that the market will be offline for maybe 3 or 4 hours while we go through that minting process. And then once we're through that, then it's basically onto the next step. But this is the wonderful world of development where everything goes well.
Yeah, I was about to say, on that 3 to 4 hours, I'm just going to go ahead now and say it may take longer than that. So if it does, everybody please relax.
Let's have 30%
Let's assume it will. Yeah. I think if we set that expectation, it will be a little bit easier to manage there. Okay, that's great news.
And we whenever we do, just so the audience knows, whenever we do need to take the core features of the app offline like that, we generally try to do it where there's the lowest amount of traffic to lessen the impact on everyone.
Yes, and if just in case anybody listening isn't in the announcement channel, either on Discord, on the Veve Discord, or in the Ecomi Telegram, I would join those. That's where we drop those kind of updates. Sometimes they go out last minute. Sometimes we give a fair bit of warning. So if you're not already in those announcement channels, I would suggest heading to them.
And that's the video, my friends. If you made it this far, thank you for watching, and congratulations for being here early. If you learned something or enjoyed the content, feel free to drop a like on the video to help me in the YouTube algorithms, and consider subscribing for more content like this. The Master Collector program is nearly upon us, and I would start taking advantage of this information if I were you. If this information intrigued you, start doing whatever research you need to do in order to make the right moves to get ahead of this. I think this is going to be huge. This is not information that you want to sleep on. And if you get it, you get it. If you don't, then maybe it's not for you. But with that being said, I am not a financial advisor. Nothing in this video was financial advice. I am just your friendly neighborhood genius, sharing his thoughts and opinions and updating you guys as I get the information. So take everything that I say with a grain of salt, because I could be wrong. And with that being said, thank you guys again for watching, and until next time, peace out and hodl strong, my friends. Later.